Hello, and welcome to the video. So I'm in the studio right now, as you can see, but we have some exciting land slash house updates. So that's what this video is. I'm gonna insert a couple clips from grading. They were just kind of sporadic because I didn't film everything. I wasn't there the whole time, obviously. It took about 10 days probably in total to grade this lot. There was a lot of dirt that was hauled off. There was a lot of rearranging of dirt to get like a big level flat area for the house to sit on. The whole lot is not flat, but we have probably around an acre of flat land, which is great. This whole lot is better than what I could have expected or hoped for, especially being in the area that it's in, because it's not an area where you normally find that large of a chunk of land undeveloped. So yeah, I'm gonna insert a couple grading clips, and then I am going to I went over yesterday and I recorded some clips. Me and Wesley went over of kind of the plan for it all, but then I have more detailed plans on my iPad that I am going to show you once that's over.
You know where he is?
So they filled in the hole that was right there, and they kind of pushed everything down, but they still haven't done all the way back there. And I don't know how far back it goes that way. But this is the property line. So it's like 50 feet farther than it was yesterday. Can't even see the road, but... Say something. Cool. So I am out on the lot, and it's officially done with grading for now. Sorry, the sun's very bright. We're done with grading for now, and let me show you a little bit of what it looks like and what we have planned. I'm very excited. All right, so we have the driveway coming up here, and it's kind of a steep driveway, but it'll be all right. And then we have this sloped all the way around to help with drainage, and there's like a little ditch right here.
I don't want to look like a 5-year-old playing on the backhoe while they're out there.
Well, they're gonna learn eventually. Pretty quick, actually, that you're a 5-year-old. But so the lot curves around this way, but the house... Cute. The house is gonna go about right here, and then like this is where the driveway is gonna be. I feel like, okay, driveway, this is where the driveway will be, and then garage doors will be here most likely. So the house is gonna kind of come this way and then cut. It's kind of L-shaped, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so this is kind of the view from where the back porch is gonna be. So you get all that pretty view. There's a neighborhood pool right there, so that'll be fun walking distance to go there. And under this big tree, Wesley wants to put a big fire pit and cover the tree in lights, so that's gonna be super cute. And then I might do a greenhouse here, maybe. There's definitely gonna be a greenhouse here, and then a big like shed barn thing behind it to store all of our tools and stuff. But I might need 2 greenhouses because I'm excessive. And then right in front of the greenhouse and shed barn thingy right there is going to be our big garden, and then possibly behind all of that is going to be chickens if there's room. We need to wait and see how big everything is. So yeah, we are very excited. The next step is we are pulling permits to get water and electric out here. We're just gonna have like a single water pump thingy and a single like post just with like outlets on it so that we can get power tools out here.
And a lawnmower.
And a lawnmower. Oh, thank you. Very saliva-y. Yeah, the landscaper is coming out next week to grass just to kind of help with erosion control. So we will definitely need a lawnmower, and then we're going to start building a shed to keep said lawnmower in.
Spiderweb.
How? Where? There's nothing around here. Cute. Yeah, we're going to build like a little 12 by 12 shed because you don't have to pull permits for a shed that size. Eventually, the big shed, I'm going to call it the barn because it's going to be bigger than a shed.
But time out.
What?
Look at that backhoe.
That's not a backhoe.
Bulldozer.
That's a bulldozer.
Look at that bulldozer.
I'm going to park my car next to it and get a picture for funsies.
Just look at that view.
Yeah. But for now, we're going to have a 12 by 12 shed because... Ooh, let me go get in the shade. All right, I found a little bit of shade, so I'm not squinting. We're pulling permits for that. Currently, the landscaper is coming out next week to seed. We are going to seed everything that is dirt right now just to help with erosion control, but we're not going to put any hay down or straw down. We're going to try to see if it takes just throwing some seed out. I don't know why we can't do that ourselves, but that's not any of my business. Look at you go. Okay. There he goes. Look at him go. Wow. So once we get water and electric out here, then we are going to... I'm done. You're cute though. Okay. Wait, hang on. Okay, go. Wow. You kind of just like disappeared behind my car, but it kind of looked cool. So once we get water and electric out here, we're going to build a little 12 by 12 shed. That's not going to be the final shed. I'm going to call the final shed the barn. But this little 12 by 12 shed, you don't have to pull permits to build something smaller than 12 by 12.
I'm gonna put my bulldozer.
You can put your bulldozer in the barn once it's done. But that stuff won't come until after the house is done, probably. But that'll just be for us to keep like the mower and weed eater and all that little stuff. And then once we get the shed in, it will be time to start.
Get a tank.
Okay. Good luck getting a tank around that corner of the driveway.
Heck.
Once the shed is in and everything is good, we are gonna start doing the garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Garden.
Garden.
Can we get some enthusiasm?
Garden.
He's excited for the garden. He just doesn't want to show it. Hello, welcome back. It's me again. So here's my Procreate with all of my all of my land plans on it, and house stuff. So to give a little bit of reference of what we're working with. All right, so this might be kind of difficult to show. There we go. This is the shape of the lot itself. So this is the road. It's hard to like hold this up and talk. This is the road coming in. There is a lot here and a house there, but our driveway is gonna kind of come up this way. So right now, everything that is white is cleared. Everything that is green is still, everything that's green is still forest woods type thing. And then this line right here is like where the silt fence is. If you saw the silt fence in the, actually, I don't think I even showed it. I'll insert a clip right here talking on Instagram because I know I talked about it on Instagram. It just is going to be small, so sorry. All this down here as well, because we own up a little bit past that tree line all the way over there. So eventually I'm going to do terraces all the way down here. We're going to clear out all of this, and I'm going to have a fruit orchard, so apples and pears and all of that stuff down there. This is kind of sort of where the house is going to sit on the land. The shape is going to change slightly because we're going from a front load to a side load garage. As you can see, there's like a giant concrete pad in the front yard, and that's not really the vibe. So we're going to do a side load garage, and it also is going to make the driveway a little bit easier to maneuver in terms of like low car friendly stuff. So then where we want everything to go, this is going to be kind of hard to show. I'm going to just insert the photo, I think. But so like I said in that previous video, we have a little fire pit under that big tree. Wesley really likes that tree, which that's fine with me. I'm glad that he's excited about that tree. It's a very nice tree. It's a very pretty tree. But he wants to wrap it in like Christmas lights, fairy lights, which I'm all for. Love that. And then have a fire pit below it, or in front of the tree, under the tree, whatever. But it is a little bit of a downhill slope. So I found this picture on Pinterest, and I think this is kind of what we're gonna do. There's gonna be quite a lot of retaining walls because the lot originally was a hill. It went up where the street was and went back down through the backyard. We kind of chopped the top of the hill off and moved a lot of that dirt out of the way. But there's going to be a lot of terraces and a lot of retaining walls. So this fire pit is going to have a little bit of that retaining wall feel, which is fine. It's just something that we're going to have to do. We're going to have to teach ourselves how to build retaining walls, and it's just going to take a little bit of extra time for us to do, which is fine. We really want to be hands-on with this lot and this project and this land because it is going to be our house, possibly forever. We don't know if this is going to be like a 10-year home or if it's going to be a forever home. We're going to have to end up, or see where we end up and see where life takes us. We do both eventually want more land. We have 2.5 acres right now, and we would both love to have cows and horses and all the animals and things like that. And because we're in the city limits and we have limited land, we can only have chickens and ducks, which is great. I'm gonna see if, because they said, I was reading like the town ordinance, and it said miniature ponies are considered emotional support animals and pets. Miniature ponies are not considered livestock because you can't have livestock in the city limits, and that's anything with cloven hoofs. So goats, pigs, cows, things like that, and horses, obviously. And it's not enough land for horses. You have to have 5 acres minimum for horses, or you're supposed to, for their well-being. I know plenty of people that don't, but you're supposed to have 5 acres and then 1 extra acre per horse that you have. So anyways, I'm gonna see if I can get like a miniature Highland cow, like Scottish Highland cow, and have it be registered as a pet and not livestock, because they're not used for livestock. Obviously, like Highland cows are, but the minis, like, you're not gonna get good meat and milk production from them because they're literally bred to be smaller. So they're more like companion accessory animals. So we need to see like how everything plays out, the lay of the land, and if it would be like a hospitable environment for that type of animal. But anyways, if we do want to move forward with having like expanding the animals, we will need to think about that, or possibly buy a piece of land close to the house. Like, I mean, you could throw a rock and we'd be outside the city limits. So if we can get our hands on like 10 acres within a 5-minute drive of the house, we might be able to juggle staying on this property and getting that. But that's like way in the future. That's not what this video is about. So then behind the house, we're either gonna have a 3 or 4 car garage attached to the house, and it is gonna now be a side load. So the blueprints that I drew up don't reflect that. Anyways, so behind the house, we are leaving space to put a shop in the back. So either a shop for extra cars, which if we have a 4-car garage, I'm not sure if we're going to need, but it's a possibility. Or Wesley really wants to get into like woodworking and carpentry and help build stuff for the property and kind of make his own stuff. He likes to like make his own stuff and be hands-on. So we're probably going to put like a 3-car metal detached garage thing back there. And it will kind of sit, if we're facing this way, if this is the garage, it'll sit right here, so it can share the same like paved parking pad thing driveway with the main garage. And then next to that, behind kind of like the master bedroom-ish area, there's room for an art studio. So when we move into this house, I'm going to keep this space as my art studio and come here every day. If you don't know, I live with my parents, so I will still like come here every day to work, but eventually I want to build a little like she shed thing in the back that I can turn into an art studio. So that's exciting. And then if you're looking off the back porch, obviously that tree and the fire pit are to your left and the garden and everything else is on your right. So first is going to be the greenhouse, and we're getting like a I believe it's a 24 by 36 plexiglass greenhouse, and it's like a kit that you get from Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever. I haven't picked out the exact one yet, but I have my eye on a few. And we're gonna put that there, and then we're gonna build a shed of equal size next to it, so they'll kind of like be the same size, be the same like style. And that's where we can keep all of our like tools and stuff for the yard and gardening and everything. But we want to be as self-sustaining as possible. So we want to be able to grow lots of stuff. The greenhouse, we are going to obviously like seed things in the early spring before frost is over and let them get established, and then we'll transplant them into the garden. But I'm also going to have like lemon and orange and like other citrus trees, avocado trees. I want to try to do bananas and cacao, but we'll see. It'd be really cool if I could make my own chocolate, but I'm not sure. That's like the point of the greenhouse. That's why I was saying I might do a second greenhouse next to the fire pit, because I love the like greenhouse, like just full of plants like pothos and ferns and things like that, and like put a hammock in the middle of it, and it just be like a chill hangout, like witchy area, which I can't do because the other greenhouse will actually be functional. So that's what we're doing right now. And then if possible, depending on how big everything is, to the right of that barn and the garden is going to be our chicken coop / duck coop area. I need to see how much room we're working with, because I don't want them to be too cramped, but the plan right now is to do that. And I would, oh my gosh, a tree just fell in the backyard. I would love to do like a little tunnel, because the thing about chickens and ducks is it's free pest control and you're not having to use pesticides on your plants. So I want to do like a little runway tunnel so that they can be covered. Like obviously the coop is going to have like a top cover on it so hawks can't get them, because we do have a lot of hawks in this area. And then have a little like tunnel cover chicken run. And it'll have a gate on the end, but it'll connect to the garden fence. So it'll have a gate so I can let them in and out during the day when I can supervise them. So if I know I'm going to be out in the garden or out in the backyard and can keep an eye on everybody, I can let them into the garden, and obviously they'll stay contained in that garden. It just won't have the top on it, which is why I don't want to leave them in there all the time. And they can eat all the bugs and stuff like that. So yeah, I have so many plans for this. I'm sorry if this is just rambly, but we are going to be doing a deer fence around the garden because there are a lot of deer in the area, and we want to attract the deer. I love deer, and Wesley's dream in life is to have a pet deer, like find a fawn whose mother has passed and can no longer care for it, and bottle feed it and have like a pet deer. Obviously we aren't going to like attempt to create that situation, but if it happens, that'd be super cool. So we want the deer in our yard. We're gonna set up like salt licks and mineral licks and put like a corn feeder out and everything to try to like get them to come into the yard. We would love for them to be able to like trust us and know that like we're good people. But we don't want them getting in the garden, obviously. So we're going to do a deer fence, and it's gonna have 4.5 foot tall fencing with like chicken wire, so like rabbits and squirrels and stuff can't get through. Obviously squirrels can climb that, but and then if you know like what deer fences are, it's gonna be actually 10 foot tall with 2x4s around the top, because the deer see that and they think that they can't jump over it because they don't realize that there's like open space. And I'll probably like hanging flowers and like ferns and stuff there to fill in that space, but that seems like the best and most aesthetically pleasing way to create that deer-proof garden fencing. And then also, because I kind of was talking about the ducks and chickens being like built-in insecticide, pesticide, I'm gonna have bees, and I'm so excited. I just, you know, it's super healthy and good for your immune system to eat local honey every day. And like, I would love to, obviously, before we have this, go to farmers markets and support local beekeepers and get their honey, which I do now and then. I'm eventually going to start going to the local farmers markets weekly and kind of get to know everybody, because we are going to have extra produce, and I would love to set up a table at the farmers market and sell what we have. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get into beekeeping, so I have to put the bees away from the chickens and the ducks, because obviously the chickens and the ducks will eat the bees, but I don't know where to put it because Wesley's also scared of bees, and I don't want it over on the other side of the yard by the fire pit where we hang out, so I need to figure that out. But that'll be really good for the garden, because we will like have our own pollinators, and I'm also going to have a pollinator garden to attract other pollinators, other bees, and like butterflies and just other, you know, bugs in the area. So that'll be good. And then, okay, so last things, and then I swear I'm done talking. Where the lot slopes down, so we have the silt fence currently, and then it slopes down, and then we own the land down below also, but we didn't clear it because of erosion issues. You can't clear more than a certain amount of land at once, so we have to let this land stabilize before we can get down there and clear that other land. What I'm going to do is have terraces all the way down the hill. So I'm going to build retaining wall terrace, or, you know, if you're familiar with terraces, with steps down. And then down at the bottom, I'm going to have an orchard with, I would love to have an orchard with wildflowers growing all in between, instead of just like it being grass down there, or like mulch. I would love to have like wildflowers and clover. Clover is so good for both pollinators and attracting deer and rabbits and stuff. They love it. So if I had complete control, I would have the entire yard be clover, because you don't have to mow it. It only grows like this tall and then it stops. So you can mow it, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. So I love that. So down at the bottom, I'm going to plant apple trees and pear trees and any fruit trees that can withstand these winters. Possibly peaches and like cherries and stuff, but not 100% sure. We're going to do a little bit more research on that, because we do get some frosty months down here, and I don't want to obviously plant anything down there. All the stuff that can't survive our frosts will be up in the greenhouse. And they will be like the lemon trees and stuff. They will be dwarf varieties, so they can survive in big pots. And then I'm going to have those pots on wheels, so I can roll them out in the summer, spring, summer, fall months, and they can be outside. They don't have to live in the greenhouse all the time. But that's the plan for that, and I just think that sounds so magical. Like, imagine just like walking down terrace steps, and like the terraces being full of like a pollinator garden, so things like lavender and garlic and just anything that pollinators love, and getting to the bottom and just having these fruit trees and wildflowers everywhere. Like, that just sounds so magical, and I'm so excited. And then also the retaining wall or the like hill in the backyard, that's also going to be terraces eventually. Obviously, a little bit at a time, you know. I digress. Obviously, as you can tell, we have lots of plans. I am very excited to go ahead and get water and power out there and get grass seeded so we can get started. Also, I meant to mention, because of the slope of the land, we are going to have to do like a small 2-foot retaining wall between the greenhouse and the barn and the garden. So that's probably going to be one of our first projects, is building that retaining wall so we can go ahead and get that garden in. It's currently end of September, and well, Wesley also. I would like to have the garden finished, so that's retaining wall built, deer fence built, and planter boxes built. So we're building all of that ourselves. And the small shed built, which that's going to be the very first thing we do. And then also, I'd like to have the greenhouse up by then. I'm sorry if you can hear them. My dad's taking the front door off. But we want to get all of that done by spring. So we have a lot to do. So I will keep you updated. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you are excited to come on this journey with me, because I am very excited, and I'm excited to like share with everybody and share the trial and error process of building a house, having land, being as sustainable as possible. We're gonna try to do compost, or we are gonna do composting, water collection, all of that kind of stuff to be as self-sustaining and money-saving and environmentally friendly as possible. So if any of that interests you, then you can follow me and stay tuned for whatever happens next. Thank you so much for watching.